Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video. Today, we're getting to the more Death Parade. At the very least, I hope to get through episodes 5 and 6 of this episode. Might wait till do the Death Billiards OVA some other time. Might do it now, but it'll probably be before the episode 7 and 8 reaction. Either way, I'm really excited to get a more Death Parade. We had 2 games last week, which was really exciting, but so I feel like we're about due to learn more about the people that inhabit Queen before we get into more, focus on a certain group of people. Like, it's always been 2 people. I'm still holding out for the potential of having 1 person by themselves or a group of multiple, like 3 to 5 people or something like that. But at any rate, whatever comes, I'm really interested to see what happens next, because this has been a really roller coaster of emotions type of show so far. It's really interesting, and I love it, and I can already tell I'm gonna hate it when it ends. Unless it ends really well, the ending is really good, I'm gonna hate to see the show end, because it has boundless potential. You know what I mean? But with that all being said, let's get started with episode 5 of Death Parade. As always, if you enjoy these videos and you want to see more, the best way to let me know is to hit that like button. And you should also, while you're at it, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. With that all being said, as always, unless you're new here, links in the description below will take you to the full-length, uncut reaction, so you can go there and come back to YouTube where you can watch the discussion. Alright, this was not at all what I was expecting. I definitely was hoping for an episode just focusing on the people that, reside and work in Queen Dekim. But I wasn't expecting that. I should have definitely, and I could have definitely predicted in earlier reactions that potentially New Girl, which I still don't know her name, I'll call her Shavot for now. Or maybe, Shavot seems like the most apt name to call her right now. But it's so interesting that they just kind of, right in the middle of the season, just like, oh yeah, by the way, this is how it is. This is why she's here. This is what we're planning to do with her. And I'm so glad they finally did that. I was expecting it to be more of like a mystery, where like they keep leaving you little hints, and then it's eventually revealed at the very end of the season. That's where they have that emotional moment that somehow ties into that one shot at the end of the OP, with her slowly falling into his arms before going to the elevators, which I know now that's definitely how it's gonna end, and I'm gonna be real sad about it. But man, and I'm really interested by this old man. He's really interesting. I can't wait to see more of him, because his eyes are also different from say Nona, Clavis, Ginty, and Dekim's eyes, which means he's something different. I don't remember exactly what they were talking about, and it would seem I assume that he was the predecessor to Nona, the manager, basically, which would be really interesting to see what kind of insights he has on everything going on. And I couldn't have predicted that a different resident of Queen Dekim, one of the workers, was pretending to be a little boy just to do it as a test. I thought it was going to be something vastly different, but that's really interesting that that's how it is. And Ginty seems like an interesting personality. It's interesting to see someone who has the same job as Dekim, but has a completely different personality and attitude toward this whole thing. Because I guess because Dekim's been only doing this for 5 years, so he's still pretty impressionable. He's being influenced by someone he's supposed to be judging, unlike Ginty, which is a really interesting thing. But that just because by the end of the series, I don't think they're not going to go like typical shonen or JRPG, where they end up having to fight God against this corrupt system or something like that. So at the very end of the series, she's obviously going to have to Shavot, which I'm calling the New Girl Shavot for now, she's going to obviously have affected Dekim in some like intense, deep way that it just permanently changes the way he thinks about things. And first of all, I don't even know how that's gonna like pan out, him being an arbiter. Maybe the end is gonna be they both get sent for reincarnation. I don't know how that would work with Dekim, because I don't know exactly what he is. He's an arbiter, but what that exactly means, is he kind of like souls in the Soul Society, like how Soul Reapers are, or something like that? But I imagine the series is going to end with her finally getting her judgment, and obviously Dekim's going to be staying here because he has jobs to do, and he's going to keep going forward with his job, but having permanently his mindset changed on how things are done, type of thing. But either way, not much other than that's going to change. So it's just going to be just gonna be really interesting the way they're gonna take this, and I'm really excited to see more, especially because of how like highly praised this series is. Like it's got to be good. So I'm super looking forward to seeing how this goes. Real quick before I go on to the next episode, I'm gonna look up real quick. There is Oculus. No, Tesho Genda, which is definitely not the person who I thought it was. I don't know. Who's he done before? He sounded really similar to Old Man Joseph Joestar in oh, he was Bruce Wayne in Batman Gotham Knight. Really? I could have sworn I heard him from somewhere. Maybe it's just because he sounded similar to Old Man Joseph that I assumed he was, but he actually isn't. Because he very clearly isn't. He was Hedoro in Gintama. Nice. He was Captain Tennille. He was a character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. He's Captain Tennille, who had to stand Dark Blue Moon, the fake captain or whatever. Interesting. Yeah, I think that might be it. I don't want to look too much more into it. Yeah, no. Oh, wait, no. He was some character I don't even remember from Yojo Senki. Alright. Let's see. Yoshimasa Hosoya, who I believe plays Ginty real quick. Just gonna check. Yep, Ginty. The person I suspect him of being is... That's right. There he is. There's the boy. Reiner Brown. One of my favorite characters in all of Attack on Titan. God bless. Good voice actor. See, I was right about that one. I wasn't right about Old Man Joseph, but I was right about that. Is he anybody else? I think he might not be anybody else I recognize. Oh, he's Asahi in Haikyuu. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like Asahi as well. Yeah, that's it. So Asahi, whatchamacallit, Reiner and Ginty all share the same Japanese voice. That's cool. And also very different characters, because Ginty is a very brash and abrasive sort of a character, very get in your face type kind of guy. Reiner Brown started off, he's very different, especially now in the most recent season. He's just depressed all the time, and Asahi's just a sweet little boy. He's very tall. He's a teddy bear. He's very lovable and soft, but very different characters. That's what I love. That's what I love about series like this, is voice actors can play vastly different characters. Like Haoin Kyoma or Okabe Rintaro from Steins Gate shares a Japanese voice actor with Light Yagami. Very different characters. But with that all being said, that's all I had to say about this episode, so I'm going to get to the next episode. Simultaneously, one of the most depressing and wholesome episodes, and I'm so glad that we got a bit more of a wholesome episode, because again, things get really heavy really quickly in this show. So just this whole thing was a lot of fun. First and foremost, it was a lot of fun. Just this whole thing, and dear God, was that a hit of reality I was not expecting, because that's always something you never really think about. Celebrities have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders that nobody really talks about, and so that they have a lot of influence over a lot of people. And it's just kind of hard. One of the things that I always hate is like when people bring up the idea of like power dynamics between celebrities and trying to date for lack of a better term, normal people. It's just like, yeah, that's always going to be a thing. So like celebrities are not allowed to date anyone that's not like as successful as them because of a perceived power dynamic, which will almost always exist, because again, you can't do anything about it. And just like that can lead to like this weird sort of treatment for fans that celebrities have, where they know they can't ever get close to fans, can't get close to any kind of fan, whether it be romantic or just like a close friendship. That can never happen, because there's always a perception that that one or the other is using, whether it be the normal person or the celebrity is using that person for whatever reason, because there can never just be innocent intentions. It always has to be, some deep-seated ulterior motive. So it can lead, and because people always push that sort of thing, it can lead to people having trouble forming connections if they become famous. And people always call celebrities heartless, emotionless fuckers that just use people, and like, they can be, but it's partially the public's fault for always forcing this perception of like perfection on them, and that they're better than us, and that they can never, they're not the same as us, even though it's just not true. So it can even lead to like, to celebrities subconsciously treating fans and whatever poorly because of that. And I just think this is kind of an excellent showcase of that, is because he spent time with a fan and he was a womanizer because he got what he wanted out of it. And even though he clearly very much cares about his fans based on all of those, letters he's been reading, and based on the fact that he's spending time with them at all, to the point of having sex with them, and the fact that it really destroyed him. Like, people will always say if he issued a public apology or something, there would be people saying he's being disingenuous. But because this is a show and we can tell what he's thinking, because the show writers show us what he's thinking, we know for a fact that he was devastated by that fact. He was devastated, and that revenge was crazy. I was not expecting that. But I love the two characters' personalities, the two guest personalities, and I love their interactions together. And the fact that it ended up really nice at the end, right in the Kokoro, you know what I mean? It's really sweet, and I'm gonna wait to see. I don't think they're gonna stick around. They have to get judged, because they're a different case from New Girl, or Shavot, as I'm still calling her. And they might keep them around a little bit longer, because they're also a weird case where when they learned about their death, their first instinct wasn't, oh god, I'm dead. It's like, oh, just get me new clothes, please. So they might stick around a little longer. But the fact that they were in the OP made me think they were going to be a bit different than what they're seemingly being right now. Because at least the girl, Mayu, she's in a bunch of different scenes. She's dancing on a DDR machine, and then she's in the line when they do like the that pose. She's there too, which, oh boy, let's see. She's even here in a group shot with a bunch of them in an elevator, with the mask that indicates they're being put to the void. By the way, she's there too. What is she going to be kept around because of the fact that she didn't immediately despair the fact she's already dead? And the fact that Harada wasn't there means he's clearly got to be going to reincarnation or void. But the fact that we don't know yet is really interesting. I'm sure we'll get into the next episode, but I'll probably watch the OVA before then, the original Death Billiards, but who knows for sure. Other than that, this is an amazing episode. Oh, real quick though, I pretty much know for a fact that Harada is voiced by Mamoru Miyano. But real quick, I have to check Death Parade. I can also update my anime list while I'm here. 5 and 6. Let me check. Where is he? He's not on the. I gotta go to the more characters list. Harada. There he is. Yep, Mamoru Miyano, my boy. Gotta love Mamoru Miyano. One of the best voice actors in the industry. So good. Such range too. He has so much range in his voices. He played one of the characters in whatchamacallit. I don't think it's one of the older version, but in I assume the more recent version of Legends of the Galactic Hero, which I hear is like a really good space sci-fi drama thing, which is insane. Absolute legend. I need to rewatch Death Note in sub, because I've only watched it dubbed, but the fact that Light is voiced by Mamoru Miyano is amazing. It makes me want to rewatch Death Note, even though I hate everything after episode 25. Well, I strongly dislike it. I like it very much less, but it's still a good show. But that's pretty much all I had to say about this episode. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. That all being said, let's get started with the sorry, I got the things messed up. With that all being said, thank you once again for watching. Peace.